Alright guys, welcome back to the H.I.T channel. In today's video, I'm going to answer your equipment-based questions. I put a post on Instagram and we've had floods of questions, thank you so much. And I've picked the best questions and believe me, there's some real juicy ones. Okay, first question from JW Norlander. Do I need to buy a new driver or take lessons instead? It's a great question. First off, my background is being a PGA golf coach. I fully see the advantages of taking lessons. Find a good golf coach and it will definitely improve your game. But also, buying new golf clubs is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with buying new golf clubs, but try and get one that obviously suits you and your game and fits your budget. So it's a tough one. I think if you were to solely look at improving your game, I would say golf lessons is the way to go, but there is nothing wrong with buying a new driver that will help your enjoyment of the game and help you play better as well. Okay, next question, NPidge89. The best driver of previous years that are under £150. I mean, that is a really, really good question because obviously recently drivers have become so expensive. Like, you know, they're even nearly £600. But you can pick up so many great bargains from drivers from previous years. Either brand new, you can find some unbelievable drivers. I think I saw recently like a tailor-made M3 driver, which is probably 5 or 6 years old now, that was selling for £150, or you can go and pick up something from somewhere like a Golf Bidder. Obviously I work with Golf Bidder and you can get some great bargains that are quality drivers for less than £150. You've just got to shop around a little bit. Okay, next question, Jack.jab.butterworth. Driver spin rate to keep the ball in the air, explained. So much of this is to do with your club head speed and your ball speed. If you have slower club head speed, so if you're in the kind of 90 miles per hour club head speed with driver, ideally you need more spin rate. Like, you need the spin to keep the ball in the air. So anything kind of upwards of 3,000 is okay. As your swing speed starts to increase, and if you get to like top swing speeds, like 120 miles per hour, you can afford to have the spin rate to be a little bit less, like closer to 2,000 RPM, if not even less. As a rule of thumb, if you swing at 100 miles per hour club head speed, which is roughly about average club head speed for driver, you want around 2,600 to 2,800 spin. And if you go a little bit faster, if you go to like 110 miles per hour, you want about 2,200 spin. But it really does depend on your club head speed and your ball speed and just the flight that you hit. It's worth getting on a launch monitor and having a little experiment. You don't want too little spin because the ball will just drop out the air, and you don't want too much spin because the ball will just balloon and you won't get the distance you need. J. Carruthers 7. Hi Rick, using a 10.5 degree driver, if I change it to 11 or 11.5 degree, will it help me stop slicing it? Yes. The simple answer is yes. The more loft you can use on a golf club, the less spin axes you're going to get on a golf ball. It's me pretending to be a spin axis of a golf ball. So therefore, you are going to just generate a little bit more backspin and not as much spin to the right or to the left. Loft is your friend. That's why it's so much harder to slice a sand wedge than it is a 5 degree driver. Now, granted, moving from 10.5 to 11 or 11.5, you're not going to see vast amount of improvement, but I would guarantee you will see some level improvement and you will slice the golf ball slightly less. Okay, next question from Jason Garlic 1971. When buying equipment to start with, what is the club or clubs you should invest the most money in? Now that is a good question because so many people when they first start playing golf, it's like, well, I've got a budget, where do I invest that budget? Now typically, as a rule of thumb, you could pick up an older set of irons and they will probably still perform pretty well. Like, you know, I've played with really good golfers who have irons that are, you know, 10, 15 years old sometimes. And even putters, like putter you can pick up fairly cheap, kind of, again, 10-year-old putter that really is still going to perform as good as some of the modern putters. I would definitely see drivers being one that you should look into, and wedges. Wedges can have wear and tear. If you use a wedge for way too long, the grooves will start to wear and therefore you won't get the same performance. And similar with driver, technology jumps so much every kind of 5 years or so. So if you got something super old, it might not be performing as well as the modern day drivers. So I would say if you're going to invest money, look for high quality drivers, good wedges, putter and irons, you can sacrifice a little bit of quality and budget, but you can still get great performance. Next question from Matt Andrio. Thought on Kirkland irons. This is a simple one. I've done a review. I actually think they're really, really good. Like for what you end up spending money on, I think the quality, you don't have the advantage of getting custom fits. That's the only downside. But as a set of irons, I think they are really, really good and unbelievable value for money. Okay, next question from GG87. How do I determine which putter type is best for me? It's a great question. I mean, certainly putter fittings in general have become so much more popular in the more recent years. But one thing I used to do, old school way of kind of determining what putter suited you, if you ever go into a golf shop and they've got a big putting green that's kind of set up there in a golf shop, and you see it either in a pro shop or kind of one of these golf superstores, is I used to do this daft thing where I'd go and almost let the putter choose me rather than I choose the putter. So I'd pick up maybe 5 or 6 that I like the look of, that were in my kind of budget, and I'd hit some putts, and basically if the ball went in the hole, it would go on to the next round. If it missed, it went back on the shelf. And then just keep going through. And so many times, like the putter that suited me the best, the one that I kept holding putts with, was the one that continued staying on round after round, and the one that I'd either want to buy or buy in the future. But like almost Excalibur's sword, like let a putter choose you when you've got so much choice, certainly when you're in a golf shop or a golf superstore. Okay, Davey04, best or favourite irons you've ever used? Obviously this is a bit more personal to me, but I would say I've had a few. I've had a few sets of irons that I've been like, yeah, I've absolutely loved them. But the ones that instantly come to my mind are the ones I probably played with maybe 7 years ago. And it was the Wilson V6 irons. I just loved them. The only club I've actually ever had my only official hole-in-one with, the 7-iron. I've actually got that at home with the golf ball and the flag from West Lanc 17th hole. I just love that set. I love the feel, the flight, the consistency. I'm not really sure why I ever took them out of the bag, but sometimes we like magpies and get attracted to shiny things. So my favourite set is the Wilsons. I'd love to hear what your favourite set is. Leave a comment down below. What's been your favourite set of irons you've ever used or owned? Christian Curran X, best game improvement irons of the past 5 years, ideally for a 20 handicapper. So kind of similar question to what we've just had about my favourite irons. For me, a set of irons that I've loved for higher handicappers, there's probably 2 that come to mind. First off, the TaylorMade P790s. I think they, as for most golfers, like certainly for 20 handicappers or even down to like low single figure handicappers, I think they are the set that give the most all-round versatility. And you can see that because of how many brands since have kind of been inspired from that kind of look, that style with the hollow head. Now they weren't the first ever to do it, but they were the brand that seemed to nail it. So for me, P790s from TaylorMade, or like the G irons from Ping, always are super, super forgiving. Wide sole, lots of forgiveness. So either the Ping G sets from different years or the TaylorMade P790s. I've just been laughing at the pronunciation of this. I'm like thinking, what's this name? Gina Ricca Use rename, but it's generic username 89. Right, anyway, should I change wedges every few years or will a groove sharpener actually work? Well, I think there's been some really good research done by the guys at Vokey that, I can't remember how many shots it is, but after a certain amount of shots with a wedge, grooves do definitely start to get affected. It's a fact. You create less spin because the wedges are typically faces a little bit softer as well, so you will see a drop off in spin rate and that will affect performance. So yes, I would definitely say that wedges do need to be renewed fairly frequently. It depends on how much you play. Like tour players probably change them like 3 or 4 times a year, but obviously how many balls they hit. I would say kind of 5 years is probably the stretch, the maximum. And also going on about the groove sharpener, I actually did a video years ago about groove sharpener and it did work. It did. You've just got to be careful. One, because of the safety element. I don't want anyone hurting themselves. And also, like if you dig too deep, you can almost affect the legality of your wedges. You don't want to deem the grooves illegal. But groove sharpeners are good, but ideally new wedges every kind of 5 years is a rule of thumb. Zev629, how many Scotties do you have? Well, Come with me, let me show you. So here in my wonderful storeroom is my beautiful collection of Scotties. I've not got loads, I've got 6, which is a very nice collection. I've got this really nice Scotty Cameron stand, which I'd like to fill properly one day. I've got like these ones that are a bit of an old school Scotty Cameron Pro Platinum, which is very, very nice. And then I've got, I really like this one. This is one I picked up a couple of years ago. And I've got 2 daughters, you see, and this is a My Girl Scotty Cameron putter. And you never know, one day, if my girls get properly into golf, I could see them having this in the bag one day. Or maybe I'll never take the wrapper off and sell it for a fortune in the future, I'm not sure. And then I've got this one. This one's one of my favourites. This is, first off, how iconic is that Scotty Cameron yellow head cover? The studio design yellow head cover. With, the OG fans will know, Scotty Camerons used to come with pitchforks in the head cover. That's something that's missed. I still wish they did that. Anyway, under here is a putter I used as a kid. And recently, a couple of years ago, I had it refurbished from Chris Finch over in Preston. Look at that. I mean, it's just gorgeous. This is a Trillium long neck Newport 2. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So yeah, I've got 6 putters. Some are old, some are new, some are borrowed, but none of them are blue. Okay, tcookson_9. Have you tried Takomo irons yet? Oh, they were actually in a bag behind me just yesterday because I reviewed them just yesterday and they will be on the channel very soon. I was, spoiler alert, I was very surprised and impressed. They're coming to the H channel very soon. Okay, this is a popular question. This came from Sean M. Gann. What happened to the Titleist driver fitting video? Okay, this question definitely came up a lot of times. Now, for those who didn't watch it, some of you did, a lot of you didn't. It was actually a video I filmed back in May this year. It was a beautiful sunny day and I went down to Woburn, where the Titleist Performance Centre is, an unbelievable facility, to get fitted for the new Titleist drivers that have been released this year. And for a normal customer, that fitting costs £500, but the facility is out of this world, it's amazing. And typically, over all the years I've been doing YouTube videos, that is something I do very often. I'll get fitted for the new product that's coming out. That's with TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, Titleist, all of the brands. I'll either go to their fitting facilities, they'll come here to the studio and fit me, they've been to the driving ranges where I've worked in the past to fit me, so that I am custom fit for the product that I'm about to review. It makes total sense. Now, I've never filmed one of those fitting videos, and on reflection, when the video went out, there was a lot of negative comments and it hurt. There was a lot of comments obviously aimed at my attitude, etc. And I was on holiday with my family and it was like, whoa, I'm getting absolutely roasted in the comments here. So as a gut reaction, I was like, well, we need to stop the bleeding here. I just deleted the video. I took it down. And that was my personal choice. I didn't get asked by Titleist to take it down. In fact, they were surprised I took it down because they thought it was a good video. But I was like, I just need to take that video down. I'm not coming across how I would normally come across. That's not me. That's not me on video. I'm happy. I'm, having fun, enjoying myself. But I think on reflection after watching the video, again, I've been through so many of these fittings, like nearly 12 years of club fittings from all different brands. And I've learned a lot in those fittings. And one of the things that I feel like I do, and this is to protect maybe my thoughts and what I'm going to present to you on a review afterwards, is I kind of keep them at arm's length. Like I put my shield up. I'm like, no, I need to protect. I need to go for a fitting to get my specs correct. And then I need to leave and I need to come here to the studio and test my products as normally as I would do normally and give you the most honest, impartial, trustworthy advice. That's why this channel was built. Now, on reflection, I think me putting my guard up came across as I was maybe being a little bit different or maybe even partially even rude in parts. And that wasn't the case. It wasn't meant to be. John, the fitter, unbelievable, really, really good fitter. Like I highly respect him. I've met him before in the past, he was brilliant. And he actually fitted me really nicely for those clubs. Like I came back to the studio and reviewed those Titleist drivers and gave them praise. Like I really like the Titleist drivers. I just think on the day, filming that setting, almost like a fly on the wall setting, I was very much like, I've got to protect myself. And that's because over years, maybe I didn't realize until I watched that video, over years, I've been kind of wanting to protect what I say to you as a viewer, because there's sometimes I've been to fittings and it's like the fitter or other people around almost become like hype men. Every shot that hit, like, oh man, it's the greatest shot I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, is it? It was okay. And I think for me, the way of kind of making sure that I go and get a fitting, which I think is correct, go away with the product, come here in my studio or on the golf course when I can fully learn about the product. I don't want these kind of positive, like hyper positive thoughts in my head that have been maybe put in there by the fitter or the company that are trying to obviously want me to say nice things about their product, so I say nice things to you guys on video. Now, again, I apologise how I came across. It wasn't meant to be. That wasn't the case. It was just one of those situations. We learned from it. You could call it a bad day at the office. The video came down. Lots of controversy started to happen. Like I said, clear things up. Titleist didn't ask me to take the video down. I took it down, and I just wanted the opportunity to chat to you guys a little bit about it. Yeah, hopefully that clears things up. Hopefully that all makes sense. No bad feelings to Titleist, no bad feelings to John the fitter, and hopefully we can move on from this and there'll be lots more videos coming your way. Guys, thanks to everyone who did send positive messages. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and there'll be lots more quality videos coming soon. Just maybe not fitting videos. We might swerve then, and we'll see you next time.